Okay, so um, this is a very special vlog uh, because it is either vlog number 99 or 100. Now, I think it's possible I have a deleted video in the playlist that I need to. Sorry, I've got a little chilly foot. There's a deleted video that's still in the playlist and takes up a space in the playlist. So I need to check to see if that's the case. But this is still a very special vlog for reasons you're going to see in a little while. And it all comes down to the walk I just took over the last hour. Actually, hour and a half, come to think of it. So it's the one I've been doing in the evenings quite a bit lately. It's I park at an elementary and walk in the neighborhood in a big loop. It's a nice, safe neighborhood. And since it's late at night, there shouldn't be any kids around, so I don't think I'm creeping anybody out. In fact, I get a little creeped out because I know for a fact that there's been bears sighted in the area, but that was not the animal life that I had to deal with tonight. So my story for the day is two parts. And the first one came when I was about to turn up into a cul-de-sac where there's a dog trail that goes around through a wooded area, and then I follow back around and get back to the same street. And as I was coming down the street, I see this dog. I'm going to go with this perspective. Okay, so I see this dog. No, it would be this side. It would be, for you, it would be this side. For me, it was this side. Anyway, I see this dog coming down the street. No leash, no owner. It's a little dog. Maybe some kind of terrier. Not exactly sure. But it just comes down the sidewalk and sort of sniffs around, and I walk past it and I sort of feel uneasy about this. So I go up the street where I was going to go, and I noticed a house with a garage door open, but no one's out in the front. So I sort of think, is this really any of my business? Should I bother with this at all? Well, I was about to walk past, but then I stopped. I turned around and went back down to the street. The dog was still using somebody's yard as its restroom. And when I got close to it, I was going to check its tags to see if it was one of the people nearby, which I almost certainly was. It sort of got nervous around me and ran past me up the street I had just come down. So I turned around and went back up the street, and as I got close to the house with the open garage door, the dog ran into that yard. And I just thought, okay, yeah, I think I know what happened here. So I rang the doorbell. A lady came down and looked through the window at me like, what's this guy? And I was like, and then she saw, well, and then this other dog started barking like mad, some sort of border collie mix maybe. And then I noticed another dog inside that looked an awful lot like the one that I had just let up. And she opened the door and went, oh my goodness, oh, how did he get out? Oh my gosh. Oh, come on in. Not to me, to the dog. And the dog went inside. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, this is so embarrassing. He's a little escape artist. We call him the little Houdini. He's an old man, and he only started doing this about a year ago. And I said, it's fine. I just saw him going down the street. Figured he'd gotten out somehow, and when I went up to him, he just ran back here. He didn't put up any fuss, didn't bark at all. She said, oh, thank you. And then she said this, and I'm not even making this up. Oh, Leo, what are we ever going to do with you? And I said, excuse me, what did you say the dog's name was? And she said, oh, he's Leo. He's our little Leo. And I said, well, I up until recently had a cat named Leo who had to be put to sleep because of cancer. So I'm glad that your Leo is safe and sound. She said, oh my goodness, oh, I'm so embarrassed. But thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I said, no problem. Have a good night. And that brings us to the next part of our story. So, I went onto the trail, and by now it was a bit later than I like to go on that trail. I like to make sure that there's still some light in the sky because, like I said, there have been bears in this area, and they've been seen along these trails. So, against my better judgment, I went in, and I'm very glad that I did. And now I'm going to show you why. I can hardly believe my luck, but there is an owl on the tree over here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there. I saw it perch and I couldn't believe. I thought it was some big bird, but I thought it was too big to be a regular bird. Sure enough, it is. I'm going to see how close I can get. I'm going to move very slowly. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. It looked over at me. It must be able to hear me, but holy smokes. This is something else. It's beautiful. I'm going to try and get a picture. Maybe that'll have a better image. I can tell what kind of owl it is. Well, how is this? You're close. I can't believe it let me. Oh, look at that. That is something else. I think it doesn't know what to think of me. I'm going to try and get a little closer. Oh my goodness. That's just to make sure I have sound on. This is just incredible. I've never seen an owl like this before. Not in the wild. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. Is it looking? Oh, it was looking up. I just made a sound and it puffed up. I can't tell if it was just ruffling its feathers for fun or if it was trying to scare me off. But it doesn't seem that interested in me. It's just remarkable. Wow. Well, that was something else. What a beautiful animal. Oh my goodness. I need to make this part of the vlog tonight. So how about that? I'm still sort of in, I don't know, shock's not the right word, but awe, shock and awe. I have never in my life been that close to a wild owl. I can say that with complete certainty. At least not that I was aware of. And it was maybe 10 feet away, probably a little bit closer than that. It was close enough that if I had just lunged forward, I could have probably made a grab for it, which would have been a terrible idea, and I would not have done that. But I just want to make it clear that it let me get very close, and even though I was zoomed in for a lot of the video, when I'm zoomed out all the way, it actually makes it look like it's further away than it actually is. Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear. So now there's one big mystery. What kind of owl was it? Well, at first I thought it was a barn owl because barn owls are famous for having, really dark eyes so much that you can't see any white parts because of how the eye is set in the animal's face and all the feathers around it. So they tend to look like they have very, very dark eyes the whole way around. But it's not a barn owl. At this point, I'm certain that it's one of two species. It is either a barred owl or a spotted owl. And for anybody that's been living in the Pacific Northwest for the last 2 or 3 decades, the spotted owl has gotten a lot of press as an animal put in grave danger by deforestation, and a lot of measures were taken to sort of promote its growth and its allow it to become a widespread species again. But the barred owl has also gotten some press, and I can't tell the difference, and I don't know that my video is good enough that even an owl expert would be able to tell the difference. But I'm going to put it up. I'm going to tag it and see if maybe someday somebody can come across this video and sit through all of my blah, blah, blah about the dog and watch the video of the owl itself and maybe leave a comment saying this is definitely this kind of owl, or it's this kind of owl, or maybe there'll be a huge discussion in the comments about what kind of owl it was. I don't know. But for vlog, this has been pretty monumental, so we'll see about tomorrow. But I'm Eric Spornitz, and hopefully tomorrow will be better.